Hi, it's Dean from WDL. Today I've got on the sofa Kate Croof from Creative Words. Welcome, Kate.
Thank you very much. Very nice to be here, Dean.
Fantastic to have you. So, Kate, where should a business start when they're looking at social media?
You always start in the same place, whether it's social media, whether it's emails, whether it's websites. Start with who your audience is. That's always the first question to ask yourself. Who am I looking to attract? Now, when it comes to social media, there are multiple places you could be. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. Who knows? The next great thing will suddenly be out there. Or now you need to be on YouTube. So knowing who your audience is really important, because then you can ask yourself, okay, so where do they hang out? My business, for example, it's B2B, business to business. So people hang out, social media-wise, on LinkedIn. That's where I focus my efforts. If you are marketing to very young people, teenagers, early 20s, think Snapchat, think Instagram, because that's where they tend to hang out. So knowing where they hang out will then tell you good places to be focusing your energies, because you could completely drain yourself by trying to do everything. And there are people out there who'll say, oh yeah, you need to be on social media, and you suddenly feel that you've got to be everywhere.
Yeah, we come across a lot of businesses that
sure
have no idea which platform they should be on and try and concentrate everywhere and then suddenly become really bad at what they're doing because they can't manage that.
Because you can't focus.
Yeah.
It is quite important that you're consistent, and that's, particularly with social media, there is so much noise and so much traffic that you might have, if you're on Twitter, you've got 10 seconds for someone to make an impression, and that means that you need to be doing it regularly so that you keep getting your little 10-second spurts. And therefore it needs to be manageable for you to be able to be consistent. So I post every single day, but I'm clear and targeted about who I post to and when I post to them, and I have a plan. So I don't have to think too much about, okay, well, it's Tuesday, and on Wednesdays I do a live broadcast. Therefore Tuesday I'm teeing people up and saying, I'm going live in 24 hours, come join me. So you've got that plan laid out of these are the things to do, maybe by day or by, you might do them across a month.
So how far ahead would you take your plan when you're looking at your activities?
That's one of those how long's a piece of string kinds of things. If you are a business that, for example, has got a big marketing campaign coming up, let's say in a month's time, you're going to be doing a 50% off offer. You might want to have a month's worth of pre-content to be starting to build that message to people. If you're just doing regular posts and awareness, I'm planning maybe 2 weeks ahead, no more than 2 weeks ahead, and some things are very much spur of the moment. So I do some posts which are, here are things my clients are up to, because they're things that we've helped clients do. Yeah. They might be a day or two after the client has done something. I have one post a week, which is the best thing about the week. I have one post a fortnight, which is what my completely crazy cat has just done. And that's quite a useful thing to be aware of. Sex sells, cats sell better. So I get better hits from my cat than I get from many things. And I did see something from someone the other day that was reminding people when it's social media, the clue is in the name. Social.
It's got to be social, yeah.
You're having a dialogue. Don't just go hammering in there with, hi, buy my stuff. Have a social relationship with somebody. And then you're more likely to get results, because what you're doing through social media is building a relationship, not flogging your product.
Yeah, I think from my own profile, I spend a lot of time giving away information. That's the way I see social media working for us at WDL, is to basically give away information. And if people like what we're talking about, we can establish we're experts, and then hopefully they'll talk to us.
So that's about credibility. Yeah. And that's another of those key things about, okay, so what is it when I'm going onto social media? What do I want to project? So for you, social media, in social media, it's credibility. We know what we're talking about. We've got the no nonsense approach. Might be the kind of thing that you come across. You certainly come across when I engage with you about being a no nonsense approach. For others, it might be about a particular benefit that they can bring, or it might be about their value system that's really important. So it's about those things that make a difference. Always about what makes me different.
How much personality should you bring to that?
Ooh, now that's a difficult one to answer, because people think of personality as an artificial thing. Your personality should come across, but it should be absolutely authentic. People crave authenticity. It's what they really want and need these days. We have so much artificial, created, plasticky kind of stuff coming at us that when someone shows up and is just themselves and is absolutely authentic and is honest and just genuinely themselves, people engage with that with a sense of, oh, thank God, I know what I'm dealing with here, rather than the very shiny, very polished kind of thing that we see a lot of now because people feel that they've got to.
I suppose they're always looking for the catch in that situation.
Yeah, you're looking for, okay, so this feels too good to be true, therefore it must be.
Yeah.
And we are bombarded with content. My coach always says, in 1970, somebody said, we've got information overload. There's too much information out in the world. We can't cope with it.
Yeah.
In 1970, and now here we are in 2019, and we are absolutely overwhelmed by the amount of information coming at us. So the authenticity is really important because people don't buy stuff anything like as much as they buy who you are, what you stand for. People buy people.
Absolutely.
So
that's an old sales adage there, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But at the end of the day, price does come into things. But actually, if you're able to say, okay, you might pay a little bit more, but what you'll get is something that is exactly what you want, first time, that gives you a wow factor, you're going to pay a bit more for that. Because, you know, it's I'm going to get, I don't know, a boiler installed that doesn't leak. You're going to hoover up after you finish. And if there's a problem, you're going to come straight back again. You're going to pay extra for that rather than the cowboy who comes in, shoves in a boiler that's the wrong size, the wrong boiler, leaks, ruins your ceiling, and then you can't get hold of them.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly the same philosophy for anything that anybody is using social media for.